Hello, everyone. Good evening. If you're watching us in the replay, good morning or good afternoon. My name is Jeff. This is The Verses, and I'm just here to give you some highlights of some places where I think you should be submitting some poetry to, regardless of your level. We'll cover some places that are for poets who've been in the game for a while, but also if you're just trying to make a name for yourself, just trying to get your first poetry cred. I think we'll also have some opportunities for you here. A quick note: we're going to be talking about a fellowship opportunity, some different contests that are coming up, a couple of chapbook places if you're trying to submit a short collection, as well as some traditional submissions as well. I'll also be including links to all of these afterwards in the description, but we'll also kind of provide some context for each of these submissions so you can get this kind of make a quick decision about, are these places you want to spend more time doing some research on, or just some places that maybe maybe not for this submission cycle, maybe in the future. All right, give me a moment to share my screen with you, and of course, as we go through these, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. All right, so starting off, we're going to talk about a position that is actually open. So this is for a postdoc. So you do need to have a master's degree for this, but this is with with basically a cap. And this is a job that gets you paid from 2023 to 2025. Lots of like specific things here. Highlights gives you $48,000. You do need a decent amount of experience, like an MFA or a PhD. Just some things to keep in mind for that. The final deadline for this is going to be January 31st. Do keep in mind this is also a position that you would need to be in Pittsburgh for. So just some things to keep in mind if you're looking for some postdoc poetry opportunities, specifically if they're looking also for some library science experience. So that's our position that we're going to be taking a look at. Let's talk a little bit about some contests that might be fun to enter. This first one's probably going to be pretty competitive. This is with Third Coast. It is a contest where they are looking for 3 poems, unpublished poems. I think everything we talk about here is going to be mostly unpublished. There is one anthology, though, that does accept some previously published poems that we'll mention. These guys are looking for 3 poems. That's it. It's a $15 fee and $1,000 prize. I'll be honest, if you don't have a whole lot of experience publishing poetry, this might not be the best one to start with. But, you never know. So it could be also worth a shot, especially if you're familiar with the poet or you do some research on him and you feel like, oh, well, maybe my style kind of matches what he's doing. Then in that case, might be good to try it out. The deadline for this will be on the 15th of December, though. So do keep in mind, we're kind of at the tail end of this contest. In fact, for most of these things, we're kind of approaching the deadlines. Next up, this is a publication I'm not super familiar with. It's called Kali's Moksha or Moksha. Things about this is a contest. Say it's an art contest, but it looks like they're also accepting some writing as well, specifically 3 poems. Again, a $15 fee, but this time the prize is $250 as opposed to $1,000 from the previous one. The deadline is also a little farther away. This will be the 23rd of December. If this is like one of the first contests that you submit to, might be a little bit friendlier than Third Coast. But again, I can't necessarily guarantee that. I don't know a whole lot about this journal. That kind of takes us through the contest. There's a couple of chapbook opportunities. Firstly, with the Center for Book Arts, they've actually extended their deadline. So now the deadline is going to be December 31st. Something to keep in mind. So that could be a sign that they're having some trouble getting enough submissions. Or it could also be a tactic that they use every year. I'm not as familiar with them. But they're looking for a chapbook, not a long chapbook, 21 pages. Okay, so honestly, for some people, that might only be 8 to 10 poems, maybe. Chapbook. Besides that, if you win, you will get a $500 award in addition to a $500 stipend, and you'll also get a week-long stay at the Malay Arts. So something to kind of keep in mind. Unfortunately, I'm missing the submission cost. So that's definitely something you want to, if that sounds like something you're interested in, do some research, see how much it is. It might be free, but I can't guarantee that. But yeah, I doubt it's free. But anyways, that deadline is going to be on December 15th, or again, this extended to the 31st. Okay, so a little bit more time to submit to that if that sounds like something you're kind of looking for. Next up, another chapbook opportunity. This is with Pank. Pank is, I feel like, pretty well known in the space, so you can expect this to be pretty competitive. It is a $20 fee to submit to this. However, they will reward you with a chapbook if you win. So you'll get a little bit of that name recognition with the journal. The chapbook length that they're looking for is about 16 to 40 pages for the chapbook. And this is also a deadline of December 31st. So if you don't have a manuscript ready right now, you still have a little bit of time to get one together, though I definitely would urge you to do that as soon as possible. Next up here, they do have, this is with the American Poetry Journal. You can see that they do have a chapbook series that ends on March 1st of the next year. But the main thing I brought them up is just for their regular poetry submissions, which are ending on the 31st of December. There is a $5 submission fee, but they are looking for 5 poems. Just a note on that. Again, a pretty respected journal, so it could be pretty competitive. This next one, though, is a newer one I'm not super familiar with. This is from Box a Journal. They're looking for 1 to 5 poems, specifically poems on the theme of light or shadow, and they kind of go more into that on their actual submission page. So that sounds like, if you're just thinking about in terms of themes, like, oh, like I have light, I have shadow, I have darkness that appear in my work. However you interpret that, maybe this place could be a good fit. It could be a nice opportunity for like an early publication cred, if that sounds like something for you. Deadline for this is very soon approaching. This is on December 13th, just a heads up. But Box Journal could be a place to take a look at. I think they have I see new issue number 2, so they don't have a whole lot of issues out. From there, we go to a more established journal with Copper Nickel. I originally put them up for their translation. They're looking for some translations. And in fact, if you have translations, they're taking up to 8 poems worth. But you can also see they have lots of other opportunities. Everything is expiring on the same day. So that means December 15th. You can expect to see them closing. It does cost money to submit here. However, compared to cost at other places, the cost isn't horrible. I'm looking at a $2 fee. Last couple places, take a look at. We have the Southwest Review. Southwest Review is looking for 1 to 3 poems, submission fee of $3. And specifically for this, what they're looking for their poetry submission, which ends as well on the 15th of December. They're looking for work that focuses on borders, borderlands, themes of that nature. You can, again, check out their page for more information on that. But if you feel like that is something that your work deals with, could be another good opportunity for you. And last one. Oh no. Which I don't have a picture for you, but I can just kind of talk you through. The journal is The Offing, which is just a huge journal. Like every time I look at their editor page, I'm like, oh my gosh, how do they have all these people here? We actually have an interview on the channel with Stefan Triplett, who is a nonfiction editor, an essays editor over there. So you can kind of get an interview with him if you want to get a little bit of an idea what some of their editor aesthetics are like. But this is for their micro section. I don't know if is Tarek still over there. I'm not sure. But for the micro, they're looking for work between 10 and 560 characters. 10 and 560 characters. Not a whole lot. A page is probably going to take you over. However, the submissions for that are free, which is nice. I think everything else we mentioned today is costing some sort of money. So that's a free submission. Pretty competitive journal, but it could be a nice credit if you're able to get in. And the deadline will be the 16th of December for that. All right, so again, those are just some places where you can be submitting work for this week. Ideally, you're running out of time, but there were some contests that are extending until a little later as well. We'll be back next time with more upcoming submission deadlines to be aware of. Also, keep in mind on Tuesdays we have the Versus Live podcast show, or kind of live streamed video podcast show. We talk about themes related to poetry. So be sure to check us in on Tuesday, right around like 8:30, 9 o'clock p.m. New York time, for another bit of a talk about some poetry. And if there's a specific topic related to poetry you'd like to hear us discuss a little bit, be sure to let us know in the chat or in the comments or on the replay. Again, my name is Jeff. Thank you for spending some time with me here today. You guys have a good day, good night, good afternoon. Let us know how your poetry journey goes, and we'll talk to you guys later.